The Warriors can't be stopped right now. The Warriors just keep finding ways to win. And tonight was another reminder of how locked in they are right now. They took down the Knicks 97-94 in a game that was tight from start to finish. That's 7 straight wins for Golden State, and they've now won 12 of their last 13 games. They're rolling through this stretch, and it's not just 1 or 2 guys carrying them. It's been a full team effort every single night. This win puts them at 39-28 on the season, and they're sitting just 2 games behind the Lakers in the standings. They've been on a serious climb, and that's thanks to how consistent they've been, especially at home. This was their 7th straight home win, which is their longest home win streak since January of 2022. They're 14-1 when Jimmy Butler plays, and they're 18-1 when Moses Moody starts. Those are some wild numbers, and they show just how different this team looks with those guys on the floor. Golden State's defense really stepped up again tonight. They held the Knicks to just 94 points. And that's no easy task when you're dealing with Karl Anthony Towns. Even though Towns scored 29 points and grabbed 12 rebounds, they made him work for everything. He fouled out late in the game, and that was huge. The Warriors clamped down in those final moments and never gave up the lead. Offensively, the Warriors didn't have their best shooting night, but they did enough to pull this one out. They shot 38% from the field and made 11 threes on 39 attempts. From the free throw line, they were steady, knocking down 16 of 19. That kind of efficiency at the line made a big difference in a game this close. Golden State out-rebounded New York 45-42, and they also won the turnover battle, forcing 12 Knicks turnovers while only giving it away 10 times themselves. They moved the ball well, finishing with 28 assists on 36 made baskets. That's exactly the kind of unselfish offense that Steve Kerr has been preaching for years. Speaking of Kerr, this was his 558th regular season win as head coach of the Warriors. That makes him the winningest coach in franchise history, passing Hall of Famer Al Attles. It's his 11th season with the team, and he's still breaking records. He was honored on the scoreboard after the game, and his coaching colleagues congratulated him. A well-deserved moment. This was the 36th different starting lineup the Warriors have used this season, which is the second most in the league behind the 76ers. Despite all those changes, they keep finding ways to stay competitive. Gui Santos made his second start tonight, and even though Brandon Potts missed his 4th straight game with a lower back strain, there's hope he'll be back Tuesday against Denver. Now let's get into the individual stats, because a lot of guys made big contributions in different ways. Steph Curry led the way once again. He scored 28 points, hitting 8 of his 20 shots from the field. He made 4 of his 13 three-point attempts and knocked down 8 of 9 free throws. Curry also grabbed 7 defensive rebounds and handed out 5 assists. He even picked up a block on defense. Another strong night from Curry, who continues to lead this team in crunch time. By the way, if you guys want to watch a more fun style of video, I started a new channel. The first video is about every NBA championship explained. So of course I go over the Warriors dynasty. I left a link to the first video in the description, pinned comment, and I'll leave a link at the end of this video if you want to finish this one first. I genuinely appreciate if you could check this channel out. Thanks. Anyways, Moses Moody got the start and delivered with 18 points. He shot 7 for 14 from the field and made 4 of his 8 threes. Moody didn't fill up the stat sheet in other areas, but he did grab 1 defensive rebound, handed out 1 assist, and came up with 2 steals on defense. The Warriors are now 18-1 when he's in the starting lineup, and his presence makes a huge impact. Jimmy Butler finished with 11 points on 3 of 11 shooting. Even though his shot wasn't falling, he found other ways to contribute. Butler grabbed 6 rebounds, including 3 on offense, and dished out 6 assists. He also picked up a steal. The team is now 14-1 in games he's played, and it's easy to see why. He does a little bit of everything, and he helps them close out games. Draymond Green had 9 points, 4 rebounds, and 3 assists. He shot 3 for 9 from the field and made 1 of his 5 threes. Green also made both of his free throws, added 1 steal, and came up with a block on defense. It was a classic Draymond game, doing the dirty work and making life tough for the other team. Gui Santos scored 5 points in his second start. He hit 2 of his 4 shots, including 1 of 2 from deep. Santos grabbed 7 defensive rebounds, but didn't record any assists, steals, or blocks. Still, he played solid minutes and helped keep things steady. Off the bench, JK scored 10 points, hitting 3 of his 8 shots from the field. He didn't attempt any threes, but went 4 for 6 from the free throw line. JK also grabbed 5 rebounds, 3 of them on the offensive end, and handed out 5 assists. He added a block on defense and was a key part of the second unit. Looney only scored 2 points but was perfect from the field, making his only shot attempt. He also grabbed 3 rebounds, 1 on offense, and 2 on defense. Looney didn't have any assists, steals, or blocks, but he gave them valuable minutes in the paint. Quentin Post added 5 points off the bench, shooting 2 for 4 from the field and making one of his 3 shots from three-point range. He grabbed 6 rebounds, 2 on offense and 4 on defense. Post also handed out 2 assists and picked up a block on defense. Buddy Hield struggled, shooting the ball tonight. He scored 3 points, hitting just 1 of his 7 shots, all of which were 3-pointers. Hield grabbed 2 defensive rebounds, handed out 1 assist, and came up with a steal on defense. Even though his shot wasn't falling, he stayed active and kept moving the ball. Gary Payton II brought his usual hustle off the bench. He scored 6 points, hitting 3 of his 5 shots. Payton grabbed 4 defensive rebounds, handed out 2 assists, and was a menace on defense with 2 steals and a block. His energy always makes a difference when he's on the floor. As a team, the Warriors shot 38% from the field and 31% from 3. They made 11 of their 39 attempts from deep and were solid from the free throw line, knocking down 16 of their 19 attempts. They finished with 45 rebounds, 28 assists, 8 steals, 6 blocks, and only 10 turnovers. On defense, they held the Knicks to 38% shooting as well. New York made 11 of their 31 attempts from 3 but struggled at the free throw line, going 9 for 15. The Warriors took advantage of those misses and played disciplined basketball on both ends. This was a team win in every sense. Curry led the scoring, Moody provided a spark as a starter, and Butler did a little bit of everything. Draymond set the tone on defense, Santos grabbed key rebounds, and the bench chipped in across the board. JK, Payton, Post, Looney, and even Hield all made contributions. The Warriors have been finding ways to win, whether it's with their starters, their bench, or a mix of both. 7 straight wins speak for themselves, and they're showing no signs of slowing down. They've got a tough matchup coming up with Denver, but if they keep playing like this, they're going to be a problem for anyone. 39-28, 14-1 with Butler, and 18-1 with Moody starting. Those numbers are real, and they're making it count every night they step on the floor. But watching this game, you can't help but notice how great Steph Curry is right now. When Steph Curry is scoring like this, the Warriors are flat out unstoppable. It's really that simple. Anytime he's locked in and putting up numbers like he did tonight, Golden State looks like one of the best teams in the league. Curry finished with 28 points, 7 rebounds, and 5 assists in this one. He also hit 8 of his 9 free throws. And when he's getting to the line and converting like that, it adds a whole new layer to his scoring. It's not just the threes anymore, even though those are still coming in bunches. Curry is now tied for the most 25-point, 5-rebound, 5-assist games by a point guard aged 37 or older in NBA history. That's an insane stat when you think about it. He just turned 37 yesterday, and already he's making history again. He's not slowing down. If anything, he looks as sharp and dangerous as ever. It's wild to watch, and I've got to say, when he's playing at this level, you can feel the confidence running through the entire team. And here's something even crazier. If you only counted Curry's 3-pointers, he'd still have more career points than 94.3% of all players in NBA history. That's just from behind the arc. He's changed the way the game is played, and stats like that prove it. Teams know what he's going to do, and they still can't stop him. His gravity on the floor opens everything up for everyone else. But when he's scoring like he did tonight, he doesn't even need that much help. By the way, if you guys enjoy these deep dives, I'll be posting every day during this season. I genuinely appreciate if you could subscribe. Thanks. Anyways, Curry. This season, Curry is averaging 24.3 points per game. That's more than 96% of all players in the league. And he's doing it at age 37, playing in his 15th season. It's easy to take him for granted because he makes it look effortless, but what he's doing is anything but normal. He's still one of the best scorers out there. And when he gets going, teams don't have an answer. His scoring isn't just about volume. Curry is efficient too. His effective field goal percentage this season is 57.3%. That's better than 74% of players in the league. Effective field goal percentage measures a player's shooting ability, accounting for the extra point on 3-pointers. And Curry's hitting enough of those threes that his efficiency stays through the roof. He's getting 1.1 points for every field goal attempt he takes. And when you're getting that kind of return from your top scorer, you're going to win a lot of games. Curry's true shooting percentage this season is 61.6%. That measures his scoring efficiency across all types of shots: 2-pointers, 3-pointers, and free throws. He's getting 1.2 points per scoring attempt. That kind of efficiency puts him in the top tier, better than 83% of players this season. He's doing it with a steady diet of 2-pointers, 3-pointers, and trips to the free throw line. He's averaging 3.6 2-point makes per game and 4.4 3-point makes per game on 17.8 field goal attempts per game. Add in 4.1 free throw attempts a night, and you've got one of the most well-rounded scoring arsenals in the league. Tonight was a perfect example of how Curry's scoring makes the Warriors so tough to beat. When he's putting up numbers like 28 points, 7 rebounds, and 5 assists, the Warriors aren't just good, they're dangerous. Teams have to commit so much attention to him on defense that it opens the floor for everyone else. But when Curry decides he's going to be aggressive and look for his own shot, it doesn't matter who's guarding him. He's still getting buckets. It's not just the points either. Curry grabbed 7 rebounds tonight, all on defense. That helps them close out possessions and get out in transition. And he handed out 5 assists, finding his teammates when the defense collapsed on him. Even though he shot 8 for 20 from the field and 4 for 13 from deep, he made up for it by getting to the free throw line 9 times and knocking down 8 of them. That's the mark of an elite scorer, finding ways to stay productive even when the shots aren't falling at their usual clip. The Warriors are now on a 7-game win streak, and Curry has been at the heart of it. His scoring over these games has set the tone. He's averaging over 24 points per game this season, and in games where he's hit that mark, or better, the Warriors have a winning record. When Curry scores at least 25 points, the Warriors are nearly impossible to beat. And when he's adding rebounds and assists on top of that, it's usually game over for whoever they're facing. Curry's ability to score in bunches is what makes him such a problem for opposing teams. He can get hot at any moment, and when he does, the game can swing in a matter of minutes. His threes come in flurries, and even if he misses a few, he's not hesitating to take the next one. That kind of confidence is contagious. You can see it in the way the team plays when he's rolling. And it's not just about the scoring. Curry's movement off the ball keeps defenders chasing him all over the court. That constant motion creates space for his teammates, and when they're knocking down shots like Moody was tonight, it's because Curry's pulling defenders out of position. But when Curry decides to take over himself, it's a wrap. At 37 years old, Curry's putting together one of the most impressive seasons we've seen from a point guard his age. He's tied for the most 25-point, 5-rebound, 5-assist games by a point guard aged 37 or older, and it's only March. There's plenty of season left for him to break that tie and keep setting records. If you look at his shooting splits this season, they tell the story. 17.8 field goal attempts per game, hitting 3.6 two-pointers and 4.4 threes. His true shooting percentage is 61.6%, which means he's making the most of his opportunities. He's also getting to the line 4.1 times per game and converting at a high rate. Tonight's performance wasn't an outlier. It's who he's been all season, whether it's at home or on the road. Curry's bringing the same energy and production every night. And when he's scoring like this, the Warriors are in every game. They've already beaten some of the best teams in the league during this win streak. And Curry's scoring has been a huge reason why. When Curry's scoring, the defense tightens up too. You can see it in the way they close out possessions and hustle back. The team feeds off his energy, and it shows. His 7 defensive rebounds tonight helped limit second chance opportunities for the Knicks. And on offense, his 5 assists kept the ball moving and the Warriors' offense flowing. Golden State's 7 straight wins aren't a fluke. They're playing their best basketball of the season, and Curry's scoring is leading the way. They're 39-28 now, climbing the standings and looking like a real threat in the West. They're 2 games behind the Lakers, and with Curry playing like this, it wouldn't be a surprise if they passed them soon. There's something different about this run, and Curry's scoring is at the center of it. Whether it's dropping 28 points or drawing enough attention to free up his teammates, he's been the difference. And as long as he keeps scoring like this, the Warriors are going to be a problem for anyone in their way. And besides Curry, it's hard not to notice how good Moody has been. Moses Moody is having the best stretch of his young career right now, and it's making a massive difference for the Warriors. The numbers are backing it all up. Right now, Golden State is 18-1 when Moody starts. That is the highest win percentage by a starter in a single season in NBA history at 94.7%. Think about that. No other starter has ever had that kind of success rate in a season. It's wild to say, but when Moody's in that starting lineup, the Warriors just win. And it's not like he's just blending in out there. He's making an impact every time he steps on the floor. This version of Moody is playing by far the greatest basketball of his career. What stands out for me is that he's doing it now, with this group. It's one thing to think you belong in the league. It's another thing to show it night after night. And Moody's doing exactly that. There's a different kind of confidence that comes from proving it, not just believing it. This season, Moody's averaging 9.9 points per game. That puts him ahead of 66% of players in the league. And when you look at the role he's playing, that's impressive. He's not the primary option on offense, but he's maximizing his opportunities. His effective field goal percentage is 56.4%, better than 70% of players. That stat factors in the added value of 3-pointers, and Moody's been knocking them down. He's hitting 1.7 threes per game and 1.6 two-pointers on 7.4 field goal attempts per game. His scoring efficiency doesn't stop there. Moody's true shooting percentage is 59.7%, better than 74% of players in the league. That's including his trips to the free throw line, where he's averaging 1.9 attempts per game. His points per scoring attempt are 1.2. He's doing more with less, and that's the kind of efficiency you want from a starter who's playing alongside guys like Curry, Butler, and Green. What makes it even more impressive is the way Moody fits into the team's system. His mixed teamwork rating is 77%. That ranks him among the league's best when it comes to how his presence on the floor creates a positive margin for his team. The Warriors' offensive rating, when Moody's on the court, is 116.8. Their defensive rating is 111.2. That gives him a net rating of plus 5.6. That's a huge number. It means the team is outscoring opponents by 5.6 points per 100 possessions when he's on the court. And it's not just a short-term thing. Moody has a positive plus-minus percentage in 55.2% of his games. That means more often than not, when he's on the floor, the team is in the positive. His on-off rating is plus 0.5. That measures the team's point differential when he's on the floor compared to when he's off. It might not sound like a huge gap, but on a team with this much talent, every bit of impact matters. And Moody's been consistently providing it. On defense, Moody's been holding his own. His mixed team defense rating is 56%, meaning he's doing a better job preventing opponents from scoring than over half the league. He's averaging 0.6 steals and 0.4 blocks per game. He's also pulling down 1.8 defensive rebounds. His defensive rating is 111.2. And when you're getting those numbers from a player in his role, that's a big win. Offensively, Moody's usage rate is 17.8%. That measures the percentage of plays that end with him taking a shot, getting to the free throw line, turning the ball over, or recording an assist. His actions per game include 7.4 field goal attempts, 1.9 free throw attempts, 1.2 assists, and just 0.7 turnover. He's playing smart, efficient basketball without forcing things. He's also playing a lot of possessions. On average, he's involved in 43.5 possessions per game. That's a decent workload, and he's handling it well. He's not just floating around out there. He's involved, and he's making things happen. What stands out when watching Moody this season is how comfortable he looks. He's finding his spots, knocking down open shots, and defending with purpose. And he's doing all this while sharing the floor with some of the biggest names in the league. That's not easy to do, but Moody's proving that he belongs. In tonight's game against the Knicks, Moody put up 18 points, hitting 7 of his 14 shots from the field. He was money from deep, knocking down 4 of his 8 three-point attempts. He didn't get to the free throw line, but his impact was still huge. He grabbed 1 defensive rebound, handed out an assist, and came up with 2 steals. His defense was active, and he helped set the tone on that end. The Warriors have found something with Moody in the starting lineup. It's not just the scoring, though that's been huge. It's the way he fits with the other starters. When Curry's running the offense, Butler's attacking, and Green's directing things on defense, Moody fills in the gaps. He spaces the floor, makes timely cuts, and knocks down shots when they come his way. On defense, he guards his position, contests shots, and makes smart rotations. And that 18-1 record, when he starts, that's not a fluke. It's a reflection of how well he's playing and how much he's helping the team. He gives them another option, another guy who can stretch the floor, guard multiple positions, and play within the system. The Warriors are a better team when he's out there. Moody's confidence is on full display, and it's only going to grow from here. Playing this well right now with this group is going to pay off long term. He's proving to himself, his teammates, and the coaching staff that he's ready for a bigger role, and the numbers back it up. This stretch of games might be the turning point for Moody's career. He's showing he can be a reliable starter on a playoff team. His shooting has improved, his defense is solid, and he's making good decisions with the ball. His efficiency is high, and he's not making mistakes. That's exactly what you want from a player in his role. The Warriors' recent success has been a team effort, but Moody deserves a ton of credit. His presence in the starting lineup has coincided with their best stretch of the season. They're winning games, climbing the standings, and looking like a dangerous team in the West, and Moses Moody is right in the middle of it. As the season continues, it's going to be fun watching how Moody builds on this. If he keeps playing like this, there's no reason he can't stay in the starting lineup. He's earned it, and the results speak for themselves. 18-1, the highest win percentage by a starter in a season in NBA history. Those numbers don't lie, and neither does his play. But then the last thing I want to talk about is Butler's passing and rebounding. Jimmy Butler's passing and rebounding have been absolute game changers for the Warriors this season. It's one thing to look at his scoring and think that's where he's making the biggest difference, but that's not the full story. What stands out for me is how he's impacting games without even needing to be the primary scorer. His ability to rebound and pass at a high level has unlocked so much for this team, and the numbers back it all up. Let's start with his passing. Butler is averaging 5.2 assists per game, which ranks higher than 86% of players across the league. That assist rate, 24.94%, means that nearly a quarter of his teammates' made field goals are coming directly off his passes when he's on the floor. He's assisting on 13.6 points per game. That kind of playmaking is exactly what this Warriors team has needed. It takes pressure off Curry to create every single possession, and it gives them another guy who can get teammates easy looks. And Butler's doing all this while keeping his turnovers down. His turnover percentage is just 6.33%. That's lower than 88% of players in the league. He's only turning the ball over 1.3 times per game, and that's on 13.8 scoring attempts per night. That's crazy efficiency. He's making smart decisions with the ball in his hands, and it shows. You can trust him to run the offense when Curry's off the floor, or to make the right read when things break down late in the shot clock. When Butler is handling the ball, he's ranked higher than 94% of players in terms of ball handling ability. That's according to the 3 steps ranking metric. It's not just about dribbling. It's about control, vision, and decision making. Butler has all of that, and it makes him one of the most reliable ball handlers on the team. He takes care of the ball, gets teammates involved, and keeps the offense flowing. Now, shifting to his rebounding, this is where Butler's value goes to another level. He's averaging 5.4 rebounds per game, which ranks him higher than 65% of players in the league. He's grabbing 3.1 defensive rebounds and 2.3 offensive rebounds per night. That offensive rebounding stands out because it gives the Warriors second chances in critical moments. His offensive rebound percentage is 7.19%, which is better than 79% of players. Those 2.3 offensive boards per game are huge for a team that doesn't always dominate on the glass. Butler's effort on the offensive boards helps extend possessions and keeps opponents on their heels. It's not easy to find guards or wings who attack the glass like that, but Butler brings it every single night. And when he gets those rebounds, he's not just resetting the offense. He's looking for opportunities to score right away or to find an open teammate. On the defensive glass, Butler's grabbing 3.1 rebounds per game. His defensive rebound percentage is 10.3%. That's better than 37% of players, and it shows he's consistently helping close out possessions. For a Warriors team that plays a lot of small ball lineups, having a wing like Butler who can rebound is huge. It allows Draymond Green to roam a little more on defense, knowing Butler's there to help secure the boards. Butler's rebounding has been a safety net for Golden State all season long. There have been games where he's come up with key boards in traffic, keeping the Warriors alive in tight situations, whether it's an offensive rebound leading to a kick-out 3 or a defensive rebound to stop an opponent's run. Butler's presence has been critical. His rebounding and passing also complement each other perfectly. When Butler grabs a rebound, especially on defense, he's immediately looking to push the ball. His outlet passes are quick, and his decision-making in transition is excellent. That's part of why the Warriors' offense has been so effective with him on the floor. He turns defense into offense in a hurry, and he makes the right plays once they're in the half court. Looking at his net rating, the Warriors are consistently better when Butler is playing. His ability to rebound and pass makes life easier for everyone else on the floor. Curry doesn't have to carry the offense every possession. Green can focus more on his defense and playmaking without having to rebound as much. Moody gets cleaner looks because Butler's driving and kicking. Everyone benefits from Butler's presence, and it's not just the starters. When Butler's on the floor with the bench unit, his passing and rebounding stabilize the group. The ball doesn't stick, and the Warriors can run their offense without falling into isolation plays or turnovers. His leadership on the court is clear, and it's been a huge reason for their success during this stretch. The Warriors are 14-1 in games Butler's played this season. That's not just because he scores, it's because he does everything else at such a high level. 5.2 assists and 5.4 rebounds per game don't sound like huge numbers until you realize how efficiently he's doing it and how little he's turning the ball over. He's in complete control, and it's making the entire team better. When Butler's passing like this, the Warriors' offense becomes nearly impossible to guard. He finds shooters like Curry and Moody in rhythm. He hits cutters like J.K. and Peyton in stride. He even throws entry passes that get Draymond easy looks in the paint. His vision and timing are elite, and his teammates trust him to make the right plays. And on the boards, his effort is relentless. He's battling bigger players and winning, Those 2.3 offensive rebounds per game are a huge part of why Golden State has been able to stay competitive on the glass against bigger teams. He brings that toughness every night, and it's contagious. In close games, Butler's passing and rebounding give the Warriors an edge. They can trust him to make the right decision with the ball, and they know he'll fight for every rebound. It's no coincidence that they've been so successful since he joined the lineup. He's the glue guy they've needed, and his all-around game is paying off in a big way. If Butler keeps passing and rebounding at this level, there's no limit to how far this team can go. He's playing smart, efficient basketball, and he's doing it without making mistakes. His presence on both ends of the floor has changed the dynamic of this Warriors team, and the results speak for themselves. 14-1 with him in the lineup and climbing. The Warriors are a different team with Butler on the floor, and it's because of everything he's doing beyond the box score. If you guys enjoyed this, I'll be posting every day during this season. I genuinely appreciate if you could subscribe. Thanks for watching.